What's up, everybody? It's Hanson here. Welcome to the Hjkpodcast. Today, I got a special guest with me today. Her name is Vanessa Crump. She's a sergeant in the Marine Corps as well as a barber. What's up, Crump?
I'm doing good, man. What's up?
Just bring the mic to you a little bit. Or you could come forward a little bit.
Now you good?
Yeah, just whatever makes you a little bit comfortable, man. So what's going on in your life today? You know what I mean? That you got going on?
I mean, we're happy. We're healthy. I'm in the Marine Corps. Big change here coming soon. I'm leaving in like a month.
Okay.
Yeah, going to recruiter school. So that'll be the next journey for me after Okinawa. So I'm trying to adjust with that.
Is recruiting, that's what you wanted to do?
It's not what I wanted to do. It's something I'm getting told to do, but rolling with the punches since I want to stay in the Marine Corps. So.
Well, what is it that you wanted to do?
My B billet in choice would be like to be a DI.
To be a DI.
And we'll see. It's not dead. It's not a dead dream yet. Yeah. I can still accomplish it. But I'll go recruiting, see what I can do there, make that impact, and then maybe get on the horse and still run with these 18-year-olds after all.
Just talk a little bit about that too. Why is it that the military always feel like they can decide what's best for you? What's your opinion about that? Why not just do something, at least give the person the opportunity to do something that they want to do? Then wouldn't you get overall, better work ethic done? Or just, what I mean? If someone wants to do something, then they're going to put more effort into it versus not wanting to do something.
Yeah,
right?
I agree with that. I think if both of them are gonna suck, right?
Yeah.
We already know how taxing it both of them are on your body, and doing it 24/7 every day for 3 years, out of your time. But I think it would be smart for the Marine Corps to allow you to, pick your suck in a sense.
Yeah.
Because you would do, better at whatever it is that at least you got to choose whatever suck it's gonna be. But we all know how that goes. Like, nobody's going to pick recruiting. I don't think anybody would want to do that. Nobody would want to do that. At least from my understanding, and just people that I run into, the older generation that's gone before me, is like, it sucked, but like, hey, it is what it is. So. Yeah.
And then this is you coming up on like probably 9 or 10 years, right?
Yeah, I'm over 8 right now. I'm going into my 9th year here. So we'll see.
So what was it that motivated you to do a second term? And just pull it like from the arm. Yeah, right. And just pull it up. Don't be shy.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah.
Try to work it out.
Take your time.
My second term, I don't know. I'm not done with the Marine Corps yet. I'm not done with the Marine Corps. I don't think I still have goals that I want to accomplish. And until I reach those goals or I can't reach them, I think I'm still gonna keep trucking along. I don't have any issues with the policies that are brought forth, and like I said, I'm not done, and I don't feel like I'm done influencing Marines. I don't think Marines are even done influencing me, because I'm still learning every day. So I think I'm just gonna keep going until I don't want to go anymore, and I'm not there yet. So
all your goals and everything that you have planned for your life and stuff like that's strictly aligned with the military and the Marine Corps in a sense.
Not necessarily. It's not all aligned up, but like I said, like there's goals in the Marine Corps that I want to accomplish before I decide that I'm done with it. And if I'm allowed to keep staying, if I'm doing that good of a job to allow me to keep staying, then I'm gonna try to accomplish those goals. I have other stuff that I want to do, outside the Marine Corps, but as long as I'm able to stay, I think I am going to stay, and then I'll accomplish those goals once, it's my time to exit.
Okay, just elaborate a little bit about that. What kind of goals you have that's in the Marine Corps that you like to accomplish?
So we all get told not to put, our eggs in one basket, because it's not a fail-safe thing. Like the Marine Corps is not going to be here forever, and they're going to keep moving.
Yeah.
Even if, Sergeant Crump is in there, or if I'm not. But I definitely want to hone in on my barbering skills. I haven't been to school for that yet.
But she's fire though. Fucking.
But that's
flames.
something that I want to hone those skills, and I want to keep moving on with that. And I'm in the business of making people look good, feel good. So if I can do that, and then I've always wanted to work with children, and there's a little bit, my mind's a little bit skewed now on the whole social work thing, just with some of the documentaries that came out on Netflix, but it's still something that I'd like to get in the mix of working with children.
Social work on documentary Netflix.
Yeah. Have you ever watched the series of Daniel Hernandez?
No, what's that about?
So it's like a child.
Just real quick. Yeah.
I think that's his name too. I don't want to butcher that. It might be wrong on the name, but if you look on Netflix, it's basically a a child that was getting, malnourished, abused at home, and social workers were on the case, and basically it ended really bad, and they weren't able to help him because the child did die, and there was many, people that could have helped him out to get him out of that situation, and it just never happened.
Oh wow.
So
yeah, that's sad.
It is.
That's fine. You could bring heavy stuff to the podcast. You know what I mean? I'm sure we're going to get to a little bit more heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But in regards to the military, though, like, what goals do you have in the Marine Corps that you want to accomplish?
I think everybody, like, in order to stay in this game, you want to keep progressing. You want to keep getting promoted, right? So our goal was to get promoted to sergeant, right?
Yeah.
I've been there. I'm
Congrats.
there right now, right?
Right.
3 years being a sergeant. The next goal was to become a staff sergeant, and just to keep influencing Marines, right? And then it was my other goal was that B billet, get those B billets done, success at either one of them, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't want to go be a recruiter, but the end result is to success, to succeed. And so if I could be uncomfortable maybe doing this and still succeed, like, I can keep on moving. So being DI was one of the goals, and if I'm not able to do that, I'm getting told to do this, then I'm just going to go do it and see what I can do with that. So I
think being a DI is probably like, it got to be low key, be the best job in a sense. And like, because it's the funniest shit ever. Like, I don't know about you, but for me, boot camp was the funniest fucking place ever. Like, you see some of the wildest shit in boot camp. I can't speak for like any other branches, but Marine Corps boot camp, as much as it fucking sucks, it's the funniest place on earth. You could quote me on that for sure.
Yeah.
But a side note too, with like being a recruiter, I just talked to a homie the other day that he's talking to this Army recruiter. Just a little side note, and he was saying like per child or per head that you get to join, that's an extra $300.
Yeah, I don't think it works like that. It doesn't work like that in the Marine Corps. No.
So he was flexing.
I don't know about maybe in the Army is different, but that's the incentive to keep bringing people in. You know what I mean? But no, it's like one flat rate. I think you get paid for being on an SDA. It's like $150. Like, the Marine Corps is not playing those kind of games. I don't know.
So that nigga was flexing like a motherfucker, bro. I was like, bro, $300 per head. He was like, yeah, you can get 4 heads a month. So he's like, you do the math. I was like, nigga, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Hey, maybe I need to go to be an Army recruiter because the Marine Corps is not cutting that kind of check. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, man. With that being said, though, knowing what you know today, would you have probably joined a different branch? Don't flex, nigga, just because, you know what I mean?
No. I'm not going to flex. Like, probably with all the amenities, that the Air Force gives you, I probably would have chose that over, trying to be the baddest and the hardest motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, fuck all that. Let me get a nice fucking house off base in Okinawa as a Lance Corporal. Like, let me do that because I know the motherfuckers get that shit. But like,
facts, bro.
Yeah. I mean, we chose this life and it's working, so I can't complain too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean. And that's another thing too. I've been hearing a lot of times the Marines are coming out now. Like, you could be an E2, E3, you could get a car right now.
Yeah, I mean, Okinawa's changed. We were just having this conversation with my CO. I had breakfast with the CO and Sergeant Major, and there was this one cat on there, and he's like, "Do you think like the Libo policy would get lifted a little bit more?" And I was like, I just looked at him because he hasn't been here since 2013, 2015, in that era of the red card, gold card.
Yeah.
And being on base by midnight and, one drink or 2 drinks with dinner and things like that. Like, there was no one heard of a Lance Corporal getting a car in 2013.
Fuck yeah, man. Look, man. So wait, what's the policies now? Because I'm definitely, like, I'm interested. I'm curious.
Oh, I mean, I think the Marines, yeah, the policy right now, like, everyone can stay out till midnight, or actually 01. You have to be back on base till at 01.
Yeah.
And then stop drinking by midnight, of course, and start making your way back. You can drink at any time of the day, all day if you really wanted to, right? And just have a little buddy, have a plan, and move on.
Okay, it's nothing like too different, but just a little bit.
I don't know. It's a lot less strict in my eyes. If I'm a Marine that just came here, yesterday, I can get a car with no issues. You know what I mean? And that was unheard of in 2013.
Facts, man. And that's what we used to cry about all the time, man. Yeah. It's like, man, look, we have no way to be like getting around, and then you have to take this big ass, stupid ass green line, which is a bus. AKA the loser cruiser, man, and it only showed up on like certain times, and if you missed it, because I used to stay all the way up north on Schwab. So, man, look, this is like an hour away from all civilization. You know what I mean? Like, trust me, if you told people like you stayed on Camp Schwab, they'd tell you like, shit, you might as well be in Alcatraz. You know, because it was rough.
That life is rough on Schwab, but yeah, the times are way different right now, and I think Marines just you don't know how good you have it because you haven't had it that bad before.
Yeah.
And I think Marines or people in general like come with the idea that Okinawa is the same way as the States, and it's not.
Yeah.
There's certain privileges that we have to earn to do over here, and it sucks, but like, hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Crip, just do me a favor, man, because I really don't know if you're in frame, and I want to make sure that she's in frame because she's a little bit like far from me.
Oh, am I? Do I need to come in?
Yeah, just come in a little bit. Yeah. Just wherever's comfortable, just come in.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't want you being cut off from the video, and then you know what I mean, everything is flowing so good. So I'd rather do that. Yeah, man. In regards, sorry to cut you off, but.
Good,
I know, like, probably being a Marine now is a lot different than what it was 2013, 2014, and that's just a couple of years, you know what I mean? That ain't even nothing crazy. So, if you could have did it different, definitely Air Force for...
Oh, yeah, just the amenities-wise, right?
The standard of living.
Yeah, everyone wants, like, I don't know, the Marines just... I can't speak for the whole entire Marine Corps, right? But, like, we got it rough. Out of all the branches, we got it rough out of all the branches, and that's just a known fact. And we all know, we all make jokes about it. So if I had to do it any other way, just to know, like from being on the inside looking in now, right? I'd rather just go ahead and slide right through in the Air Force.
You know what? I couldn't agree more. I totally agree, and I don't even think that's like the few that's speaking. I think that's facts.
Yeah.
Like. We just want to be living like normal. I don't want to be shacked up with 3 other dudes to a room.
Yeah.
And I kind of had it good because I was on Schwab, so I had like the new bricks.
Yeah.
But the old bricks, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I could only imagine, man, like no privacy, nothing.
No, you're literally with a roommate. Everything's out in the open in a sense, right? Like you guys, the 2 rooms that separated.
Yeah.
Right, I remember that. But yeah, just... There's no privacy, but like it is what it is.
It is
like,
okay. With that being said, though, you about to become a Marine Corps recruiter, so are you gonna be like shuffling them to the Air Force door?
I'm just not gonna lie to nobody, and I don't know, just let them know the real, and if they choose to stay, they choose to stay. If they don't, they can keep on, pushing on.
Hey, this on wax. She just said that she ain't gonna lie to nobody. All right, nigga.
I'm gonna try not to lie. I'm not gonna lie to nobody.
I'm gonna try not to.
I'm not gonna lie. I might just not tell you what you want to hear. You know what I mean? That's it.
That's not lying. That's withholding.
Yeah.
If we had to be lawyers over here. Crump going on your second term. You know what I mean?
My third.
Ooh, going on your 3rd term.
Yeah.
So wait, okay, so now you're up for re-enlistment.
I've already re-enlisted like last November.
Nice, congrats.
Yeah.
So you're a lifer, man.
Maybe.
Might as well be, right?
The Marine Corps is changing.
Changing for the better or for the worse?
I think this is the better. Trying to keep competent people, trying to keep the most professional, the most people that's progressing. So if they're moving in that direction, it's like a business in itself. Then I don't see it moving in a bad way. Change is different for everybody. Yeah. The older generation might think it's moving in a bad way just because they're stuck in their ways. But I don't see it for the bad.
That's another topic to get into.
Yeah.
Too. A lot of people changes for the better. I don't know, man, because I knew a lot of great Marines that got kicked out, and I don't know, man. If you had to give me a new Marine compared to those, I'd probably pick the old. But that's another topic, man. But going back to that. Going on your 3rd enlistment now, where you're ready re-enlisted. What was your initial, basically, what invited you to join the Marine Corps to begin with before, all of this?
The first goal that I had, straight out of high school was trying to be on SWAT. I asked around different places, like, hey, what would be the best option out of the military for me, and a lot of people, pointed me in the direction in the Marine Corps, and like, it's really unheard of in Mount Vernon, where I'm from, in New York. A lot of people, I don't see Marines walking around all the time. You know what I mean? I see Army cats all the time in their uniform, but you don't see a lot of Marines walking around. So that was my initial thought. But like my initial reason for actually coming in is just like freedom and like the fastest way to independence for me. Like moving out of my parents' house and just being as totally independent as much as I can. You know, the Marine Corps, the military in itself tells you what you can and can't do and things of that nature, which I was fine because that was my structure anyway. Growing up, very strict structure. So the military isn't anything like that's really changed in the way that I was growing up in any way. So, but it was very fast independent way to independence.
Yeah.
And put me on my feet with, you know, a steady paycheck. So that's what the initial push was to come in the Marine Corps for.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But I mean, you seem like you already took like the New York mentality, that hustle and bustle from the get, you know what I mean? Of like joining the Marine Corps, you wanted your independence and stuff like that. A lot of people don't really look at it like that. But I think I could definitely caveat that and say like if you're on the fast track to independence, I think Crump hit it on the nail, man. It's like the military. I wouldn't necessarily push you to the Marine Corps because I just wouldn't. That's a topic for another time. I'd push you definitely more towards the Air Force or the Navy, not the Army, because just not the Army, right? But yeah, if you want to be independent, you want to get some you want to get a bag in your pocket starting out. You know what I mean? You don't really have many opportunities. Currently where you're located at and stuff like that. The military is definitely a good look. You know what I mean? It gets a bad rep a lot of the time, but if you don't have much opportunities out there for you and you're a little bit struggling for like what you want to be in life or what you want to do, I can't knock the military because it's definitely set me up.
Yeah, it definitely puts you on your feet. Gives you some time too to figure out, you know, who you are in a sense. If you're straight coming out of high school and you don't really know what you want to do, because that was my thing, right? Is not necessarily that I did well in school. You know what I mean? It was just something I didn't want to do right out of, you know, coming out of school.
Yeah,
it's like I needed a little break, but I also didn't want to be idle in my own town. You know, working at some small time job and lose my path in that way. So coming in the Marine Corps, you know, I still make those decisions to go to school, and I definitely utilized that. But it was a time to, you know, get me on my feet independently, and you figure out who I was in a sense. And it gives me time to figure out what I want to do in my life and who I want to be in a sense too.
And did your parents want you to become a Marine? Like when you came home, you was like, Mom, Dad, like I'm joining the military. Like what was?
Oh no, I'm the second oldest. My sister went into the Army first, and that wasn't a big deal for them. They were, you know, they're open-minded people, and they definitely think, you know, college is not the only way out, and you can broaden your horizons. You can do many things with your life. Whether you go to the military, go to school, or trade school, you know, college is not the end all be all. So they're definitely open-minded and very fine with me going into the Marine Corps.
Yeah, and shouts out to your dad. Condolences, where your dad was a Army vet. That served in Vietnam War.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, did he ever? I don't want to say did he ever talk about like the Vietnam War, but did he ever like prepare you for like what military life was going to be like?
In our life, I think, right? It said we were very strict, and it was like, you know, make your bed kind of thing, like wake up in the morning, you do these kind of things. So just setting up lifestyle, like the lifestyle that the military kind of has instilled in him, so kind of instill it in the children. So I don't think we've ever talked about, there was funny moments that he talked about the Vietnam War, but like nothing where he sat down and tried to prepare me for, you know, what war brings. I don't think anybody can do that for you unless you're actually in it. So they can get you as close as possible, but you won't be prepared to actually sitting in the trenches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't want to put war in front of anybody.
I wouldn't either. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't want. I'd probably break down and cry. No, no, we're not trying to see Vanessa at war at all. I know this is probably like a little bit touchy subject for like some people, but I talked to Vanessa a little bit offhand, and she said she was okay with it. So, you know, I know your parents, you were adopted, you and your sister were adopted and stuff like. Can you just kind of elaborate on like how that was growing up a little bit?
Again, it just broadens my mind, my mindset, my openness about, you know, different backgrounds and people and the way we live. My parents adopted me, my brother, and my sister. And I have two other brothers that are out there in the world somewhere, you know, shout out to them and what they're doing in the world. We don't connect or anything like that. So, but yeah, again, bringing into a house that's more than what me and my brother and my sister were. You know what I mean? They adopted another set of twins, my other sister, and they had one biological child themselves. So you're talking about three different, we're not all African American in that household. You got people that are really light skinned, white, black.
Yeah.
So you walk around and people like probably think, look at this family, it looks really dysfunctional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's probably the only thing that, we had to deal with, like, well, when did you get in the house or something like that.
That's different.
Yeah. My cousin's asking me, like, who are you? You know what I mean?
I didn't want to laugh at them.
No,
It's just funny the way she put it like that.
It's a different family makeup. And,
Nigga, when you get here?
and honestly, who the hell are you? Like, nah. It's a different family makeup. And that's what I think, grew me to accept different people.
Yeah.
Whatever way, you're brought in, bro. Like, whatever way you're brought in, as long as you're loved and somebody to take care of you. I don't think like I don't have any negative mindset. My only mindset is gratefulness. You know what I mean? For being adopted, people go throughout foster care for like a lot of their lives and are not able to get adopted. So all I can do is thank my parents and have nothing but gratitude for that.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people understand. Even me and my brother would go, times without talking because you just didn't understand how grateful you should have been. Or maybe that's the way I took it, how grateful he should have been to get adopted because a lot of people don't have that opportunity. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Shouts out to Crump's parents, man, for having such a heart to bring in these kids into their lives and actually raise them to be great citizens. At least I'm speaking for Vanessa, of course, and her older sister because I was fortunate enough to meet her. Shouts out to her too. She's really dope. So like growing up, you did have those little nuances of like, nigga, when you get here kind of stuff, but for the most part, it was all love and
all love and just understanding that we're not, biological, but we're all here in this house, and at the end of the day, we are family. So like, you're gonna take care of one another. We're all going to the same school. It don't matter if that person don't look like me. We're not. Yeah, we don't have the same mother. We don't have the same father, but we grown up in the same household, and I got that person's back just like they got my back. And I think we were the last group in, so I can't really say, nigga, how you get here, because I'm probably the last ones in. You know what I mean?
So he was asking you that.
Yeah, nobody really asked me that, but I'm saying, like, how cousins be like, yo, what's your name? Like, damn, I just told you last year, but you still don't remember me? Like, that's how I felt. That's how I feel. Yeah. You don't be remembering the cousins' names either, because we'll see them, like, once a year. Yeah. On the holidays and things like that. Everybody live in New York and, like, North Carolina and shit, but... Yeah, I don't know. It's different. Yeah, that's the only difference that I could say from any other family makeup. The cousins might not know who you are because you wasn't a baby brought in, but they'll get used to you. At the end of the day,
I think that's for every family because, nigga, I got cousins I probably don't even know. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No different at all. So, did your parents ever like sit down and like have a conversation in regards to like you guys' family? Did they ever was like, hey, we're a little bit different, but that's okay?
Yeah, I think I was well aware of like the situation just being. I think I was like 7 years old, so obviously, I know that you're not my mother. I know that you're not my father, and I know that these people aren't actually my brothers and my sisters. You know what I mean? So, of course, I have questions, and then, going through the foster care system or even my own household and then through the foster care system till 5 years old, and I was the oldest of 5 children, you kind of take on, the responsibilities of taking care of those younger siblings. And so there was a time that my father had to sit me down and it's like, look, you can be a child now. Like, you don't have to, worry about your brother and your sisters. We got them now. Like, you can be a child. You can do what children do, which is play. And,
that's beautiful, man.
And so I think that was probably my biggest lesson. One of my biggest lessons with my father is like, hey, take your step back now. You can be a child. And so I think that's probably the only thing that and my mother probably breaking it to us that, my other youngest brothers, my 2 youngest brothers I don't have contact with right now, and their parents who, adopted them just didn't want contact with us in a sense. So it's like, all right, I can't really be mad at that. This person's taking on the responsibility to grow them up, in the way that they should go. So if they don't want any contact with us right now, that's fine. So you understand what I'm saying?
I kind of do. I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah.
So people took on your brothers?
Yeah. So I got this. There's 5 of us, right? And my parents adopted me, my brother, and one of my sisters. I have 2 other brothers that have been adopted as well.
Yeah.
To obviously other families.
Yeah.
2 different families too. So.
And they didn't want those families that adopted them. Are these your biological?
Yeah, biological brothers.
Oh, they didn't want any contact with.
Yeah, with us. So it's like I really can't be mad.
Yeah.
In a sense, like as long as you're having you're getting love and the nurture that you need, growing up in that way, and you don't interrupt that. Like I can't really be mad at that. I haven't been mad about it. Growing up, it kind of sucks. There's 2 people out there that like in my family, but it hasn't deterred me from growing up in whatever way I'm growing up in.
Well, I think that speaks to your character, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like sitting here, you could tell that comes a strong individual. Like to go through that, and you don't let it phase you and stuff like that. Yeah. I think it's really important for you to. You don't know everybody's story.
Yeah.
The people that you come in contact with every day, just be loving.
Yeah.
Really and true, just be loving and kind, man, because you don't know what people are going through, and as you can tell, like people are going through it out there. So spread love, spread positivity,
man.
And you know what I mean. Just have a big heart. Don't be all about evil, man. That shit's played out.
Nah.
Yeah, it's played out, man. Wow, that's crazy. See, I'm learning all this stuff about Vanessa, man. I've known Vanessa for like what? Probably like 8 years now. I mean, going on your enlistment because we joined boot camp the same time.
Yep. I was just talking to my boys about that on the way up here, and it's like, this is my boy. Like he's in the Marine Corps and everything. You know what I mean? He got out. Has a beautiful baby girl and his wife and everything. They live out here right now, but like, in the Marine Corps, and time flies, man.
Time flies. Dude. Fucking man, look, 8-9 years, like that felt like yesterday.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, we're not old people. Like, nigga, I'm 25. You know what I mean? Like, but I understand what older people be like. Like, hey, man, time waits on nobody. You know what I mean?
At all.
Tell people that's in your life you love them.
Yep, right now.
For real. Right now. And, you know what I mean? Just reach out to them and stuff like that. Yeah. That's crazy. It seems like yesterday, for real. I still got memories of, like, coming down to Foster and, like, you know what I mean?
I have memories before that. I have memories at MOS school, just getting off the bus and standing in line. It's, like, snowing outside, and you're, like, standing right next to me. That's when we initially actually started, like, speaking.
Oh, damn.
Talking to each other.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But I believe you. But no, I only brought up that one memory because I saw it on your Instagram, and I was like, I feel like a little bit before that picture that I saw, it was like the first time I went out with you when we first came to Oki.
Yeah.
And then you took me. We went to like Kadina's like banyan tree or some shit, and we ended up in like some hotel. It's like, yo, Oki was lit. It's just like, damn, like that happened so long ago, but it felt like just yesterday, man.
Yeah, man.
It felt like just yesterday. Just so I'm not obviously, you know what I mean, Crump's been doing this 9 going on 10 years now.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean, she's kind of out of regs right now with that white team. I'm gonna call you out white team civilian ties. But nigga, I don't give a fuck because I'm not in the military anymore. But you know what I mean, like growing up with that family dynamic and stuff like that, did you know your biological parents? Right?
I have like fragments of thoughts about my mother, as I was around her for a little bit, so I do have like just very minimal memories and pictures in my head of what she used to look like, and who knows what she looks like now.
Yeah.
But yeah, not anymore. Not anymore. Not that I've like tried to reach out, try to look through like agencies to find her or like connect us back together. I haven't done that. I don't think I want to do that. There's just not really anything that I have to say at this point. It's like, look what I've done, and not any hate either, but just like look what I've done, without you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing that I would have to say, because like asking you why, why were you able to be strong enough to raise 5 kids that you brought into this world? Like, I don't know what good, that answer is going to do me at this point in my life.
Yeah, it seems painful, man. It seems like, I mean, I'm just speaking for me. I'm a bitch when it comes to feel. I'm a very sensitive person, right? So I don't want to open up worms like that. You know what I mean? I just feel like I'd be an emotional wreck, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd be emotional about it, and that's probably, I don't know. I suppress a lot of feelings, though. That's me. Like I suppress, but I don't got those questions to ask because it really doesn't matter at this point anymore. It's like, this is where I am right now in my life, and nothing you could have done will change that. You know what I mean? So all I can do is kind of be thankful to her too. Because I wouldn't really be here in this spot if it kind of wasn't for her. Yeah. So, I don't got no hate towards that. I just don't have a want to rekindle a relationship. Either.
And it's a little bit different too because you're a parent yourself.
Yeah.
So you definitely understand all the emotions and and everything that goes into that. Mm-hmm. So it probably gives you a total different mindset on like
I think it just opens up, and I'm sorry to cut you off. I just think
you're good.
It opens up, or it gives me tools that, look, you don't want to be this way. You know what I mean? Like, you felt what this does to you. Let's not pass it on to somebody else and create toxic relationships further in the future. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that it gives me tools to choose, like, this is what love feels like, this is what it doesn't feel like, and this is what you need to pass on. So get the good things that it taught you out of it, and leave the toxicity away from what you're trying to, move on with your legacy.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. I think that's important to be able to distinguish that and, pick and choose what you take from certain people, whether it be positive or negative. Because negatives are what they are. They're negatives. However, you could turn that into a positive
very true.
By just, okay, that's what that looks like. I don't want anything to do with that. I don't want to be a part of it. Yeah. And I'm gonna take myself away from that.
Yeah, even negatives can be used in a positive way. Yeah. You take those things that you think are negative about somebody and just use them for good things, and they can be positive. Maybe just that person doesn't know how to use it in a positive way. Yeah. So you take those things from people, and I think probably the Marine Corps probably taught me those kind of things. Is like, take the good tools away from, maybe it's a shitty leader. Yeah. You know what I mean? But they have good attributes that can be used for good things. They just might not know how to use them for good things. So. Yeah.
And then so we talked a little bit about your children. Yeah. Vanessa has 3 beautiful kids.
Yeah, I got
two triplets. I forgot. 2 beautiful girls and 1 boy. Mm-hmm. Can you explain how that kind of came to be? Because awkward pause.
I met my wife when the kids were 2 years old. We played softball together, and I fell in love with the kids. And there was no doubt in my mind that I could be a parent, at the time that I met the kids. And it was very easy for me. I was 21 years old at the time, right? You think that's a very young age to, take on triplets, but it was very easy for me to go in that environment and, I don't know, excel and have the kids, treat me as if I was their mother as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
because you are.
Yeah. But like the initial settings, like you're bringing in somebody, and I don't know this person. I'm 2 years old. You kind of know who your mother is at that point. So, for them to accept me, and then I accept them, as we were the same, very easy for me to do. And so, that's how I met them at 2 years old, and we just been going along ever since. You know what I mean?
And it probably goes back to how you grew up, that nurturing of being the eldest of 5. And, you know what I mean? Try and take charge and try and be that comfort for everybody else down the line. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and I'm a hard ass, right? But like, when it comes to those 3, I can't be anything but soft and spoil, them. But still strict. Yeah. Try to grow them up the right way, but definitely, that relationship, I don't know, can't be broken by anybody at this point. You know what I mean? So,
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, man.
And man, you guys see your kids, man. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna definitely link her Instagram in the YouTube video, so make sure you guys go check her out, stuff like that. You can wait. No weirdos, all right. Okay, so and then I know you want to have a fourth, right?
Oh yeah.
Can you explain that process to a little bit?
Yeah.
And that process is called
artificial insemination.
Yeah.
I definitely try to go that route of artificial insemination. I haven't done too much research like I talked to you about.
Yeah.
But I do plan to do it in like probably the next 3 years. It's definitely one of the planning tickets that I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would go through a private donor. Somebody who doesn't know, when their semen is being used, I guess that's the right word for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then go through the process, whatever process, and it's very lengthy. My wife did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't always catch the first time. I have a couple of friends that have done it out here in Japan, actually.
Yeah.
And I've seen nothing but triplets come from it, or twins come from it. So it'll be very interesting to see, what I end up with.
Did they specifically ask
No, no one ever asked for twins or triplets or anything like that, but it just happens sometimes.
It just happens like that?
Yeah.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah,
I wonder what's like the studies like behind it and stuff like that. So, but do you know anything at all in regards to like the process? I know it's a private donor and it's very confidential and stuff like that, but would you be able to pick and choose like, hey, I want to make sure like my kid isn't allergic to like this and like allergic to fish or what?
I don't know if it goes into specifics as far as like being allergic to things, but you do get to see that person's like medical history, make sure that they're a healthy person, because you don't want to like pick anybody that's not healthy. But yeah, there's like I think a booklet. There's a website that Nicole had like sent to me, and you go throughout it and kind of choose like what kind of ethnicity you want. They have like the height, things like that. You get to see a baby picture, so at least see what he looked like. The person looked like as a baby.
A baby? That's crazy, man.
But private donors, I think that's all you can. All the information you get, their medical history, make sure that they're healthy people, and then baby picture, and then like some of their hobbies, what they liked and disliked, and kind of taking a chance in a sense.
Yeah.
But
and artificial insemination is expensive as shit, right?
Yeah. Probably like close to $13,000 that you're probably spending.
Oh, that's not. I mean, it's expensive,
that's
right?
like a car, so to get pregnant when you can get pregnant for free. I mean, bitches get pregnant every day. But like, yeah. Yeah,
but
I mean,
I thought it was more around like $50,000. So I was about to say something outrageous ass number.
No.
$13,000? It's not.
13,000. I mean, that's 13 is a lot to have a baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Babies are expensive in themselves, but like to even breed, $13,000 off the rip is like damn. You're really invested into bringing children into the world.
Yeah,
so.
But you have a mindset of like what you're looking for though yet?
If anything, I just want them to kind of match up the background that my kids already have. So, black and Puerto Rican, or black and Mexican and white. So if I'm gonna try to mix of that, I'm black and Puerto Rican. So probably somebody who's Mexican and white in a sense. So yeah.
Okay, let's do it, man. Yeah. Hey, we gotta shout out Vanessa for being able to talk about this stuff too, because you know what I mean. It's just people are different. Like you don't know what might be touchy for certain people. Yeah. So and the fact that she's opening up to a bunch of technically strangers, you motherfuckers are strangers, nigga. You know what I mean? Like just be respectful. Yeah. You know what I mean? Don't be a bitch. Be respectful, right? Be loving. Be open-minded.
Be kind, man.
Just and be kind, like we talked about.
Yeah, we got different backgrounds. We all come from different walks of life, and just be kind. Like you said, you don't ever know what somebody's carrying, and just because they carry it well doesn't mean that shit's not heavy. You know what I mean?
Facts, man. Couldn't have said it better, man. Couldn't have said it better. So, we talked a little bit about your marriage with your wife and growing up with being a parent with three kids and stuff like that. Was there ever a point where you looked at it and it was like, yo, this is a little bit different? You know what I mean? It's different than societal norms, like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. That's something that's the obvious, right? We're not a heterosexual relationship, right?
Yeah.
And people try to people are not kind in the world, right? Again, people come from different walks and backgrounds. Yeah. So what they're used to, they try to push that on other people, And, some people might not think 2 females should be raising, 3 kids. But that's besides the point. It's here. It's happening now. So, fuck what society thinks. And let me live on how I think I should be living. As long as I'm not bothering nobody and I'm not doing anything that's bringing, bad into the world, then I don't really think you should have any issues or anything to say to me at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So, again, fuck what society thinks. And I'm just going to live the life that I think, God has set me up with. You know what I mean?
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
Do you think that the military has an edge in that area? Because we came out in 2010. Sorry, it was basically the abolition. Say abolition like slavery and shit, nigga. But they got rid of Don't Ask, Don't Tell in 2010 underneath President Obama, right? So a lot of people, would you say like the military has the edge versus civilian world in regarding to how we treat people? That's, might be a little bit different than a heterosexual couple. Like, we're more kind in the military, we're more open-minded and stuff like that. Like, you probably won't get as much bad looks as if you would in the civilian world. Would you say you could agree to that?
I mean, I'll agree. I don't think I think it's all the same, right? It doesn't really matter. I've been in Okinawa, and that's strictly like military, people around me all the time.
Yeah.
And then I've been stationed in the States where I've been off base, with my family, and it's no different. People are gonna be stuck in their ways, as they are.
Yeah.
And some people are gonna accept it, some people are not, and that's not me to choose for you. You know what I mean? If you accept it, I can rock with you. If you don't accept it, like, I just don't rock with you. I don't know necessarily if the military has an edge on it, but shout out to them for accepting.
Yeah.
After the Don't Ask, Don't Tell, accepting those kind of things. And I think they're moving in a way that it'll be easier for other people like me, because I think they even help out with the in vitro process with artificial insemination. Obviously, they've been doing that for heterosexual relationships all the time. If people can't have kids, like, they'll do it for them. But I think they just really recently opened it up where they'll do it for same-sex marriage as well.
Lit.
So so I think they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think it's all the same. Like, the Marine Corps is just a business. The military is just a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And society still has the effects on the military, and whether I'm not gonna be here forever. So like I said, I've lived out in town, and I've got no backlash. I've been grateful, or I've been lucky enough not to experience any real backlash, for the way that my family is set up right now.
Yeah.
So can be anything but grateful for that as well.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yes. Yeah, I never even thought about that. Like, for people that are heterosexual in a marriage and for whatever reason they can't reproduce.
Yeah. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like,
artificial insemination,
Yep.
Didn't even stuff occur to me. It's like a light bulb went off when you said that. It's like, nigga, that's been around, right?
Yeah.
So why does it feel so new because it's just same sex? Like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just people haven't, like, a lot of people haven't really experienced it, and for somebody not to be able to reproduce, kind of sucks for them to go throughout that process. Finding out you're not able to give birth, the natural way.
Yeah.
In the beginning of it, it's kind of hard to take on because you're like, what's wrong with me? You know what I mean? But science and fucking hospitals and the brain and everything that goes into that. I mean, they've figured out a way to still give you reasons or give you ways to have give birth. Yeah. And then again, if you're not able to do that, I mean, there's obviously other options like adoption. You know what I mean? Where there's a will, there's a way. You know what I mean? And if a baby is what you want doesn't necessarily mean that it has to come out of your body.
Before, back then, you had to ask your best friend. Be like, hey, nigga.
I don't know about that. I had many dudes ask me that, though. Like, many guys would come and be like, I'll just give you a baby. Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I don't want nobody that I know. You don't need to get no mixed emotions into this, like, at all. Because I don't want you knocking on my doorstep talking about that's my baby, too. No, it's not. Nah, it's not. My boy, my guy, chill.
Niggas walk up and be off rip. Like, hey, man, like, we can do this. You know what I mean?
Just have my baby. Nah, I'm good, son. Yeah, you're not the right candidate. I'm not looking for you, homie. You're too close. You know what I mean?
That's funny, man. That's hilarious, man. But you mentioned earlier that you got married at 21.
No, I got married at like 23.
Okay, you got married at 23. However, you were in your kid's life at the age of 21.
Yep.
And then you said like it was like a normal rule. You picked up on it. It wasn't bad at all. Do you have like anything that you remember that was kind of like a challenge?
I can't say that I did like a challenge for me.
Man,
a challenge like no, I don't know. There's no challenge. That it's like you go through the terrible twos. It's not even terrible twos. It's terrible threes, terrible fours too. Like
what's that?
It's like you say terrible twos because it's like the worst time when they're 2 years old.
Oh,
yeah, you'll experience here.
I was so lost. I was like, damn, cause I'm a new parent.
You'll experience it.
Like terrible twos, threes, what the fuck she talking about?
1, 2, 3, 4, all of it is a new learning experience for them. So and for you as well. So.
That's real terrible twos, threes, and
I
fours.
think so. People say terrible twos, but I think it's every age until they learn like, hey, this is what right and wrong looks like, and this is what we're gonna do with it. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a learning experience all the time. This is not just a terrible 2 stage, and then at 3 years old they're fucking beautiful babies and they don't do nothing wrong. No, hell no, they're getting into more shit. Like if you ask me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, no, I don't think like the regular stuff that people go through as parents and parents with children that have no deficiencies or anything like that. And shout out to those parents who are growing children that have autism or anything that like EFMP kind of kids that need extra help with different things.
Oh, you're throwing out abbreviations? Yeah, I think you're throwing out.
Let me think about EFMP because I know
EFMP.
It's how can I say? It's
just in the comments. Just put it down below.
Yeah, it's when you just the child needs extra help,
attention.
Doing whatever it is. Like they just might be in a wheelchair. It's a lot of things that encompass EFMP children.
I can't imagine. Man.
But yeah, I mean, shout out to those parents who are doing that. But I'm saying like children that have nothing that outside of the normal. Nothing outside of normal. And I have nothing outside of normal with my kids, so I can't sit here and say that there's any that I had a hard time with the three of them. You know what I mean? Because they're very normal kids, just the normal things that children do and get into. Yeah. As I can't say that there's anything I had to adjust to. Yeah. Yeah.
So. This might be a stupid question because we're all human, right? So people might be like, no, nigga, it's not gonna be different, you dumb fuck. But was there anything that was like overlooked? That's often overlooked that you noticed, like the difference between like dating men or women. Is there like anything that like stands out? You're like, I probably wouldn't be dealing with this shit if I was fucking with a nigga.
I don't know if I can answer that like question in its entirety, right? Because every relationship, I feel like it's the fuck same. Every relationship is gonna be the fuck same, man. Like. Right. Whether you're dealing with a female, it's female, male and female, male and male. Like one of y'all is gonna be the bottom bitch, and one is gonna be the top. You know what I mean? Like somebody's gonna be jealous, somebody's gonna be this and that. I think you deal with relationships the same way we deal with people. Like the way people interact. Like and that's the biggest thing.
See, that's why I said it's a dumb question because it's like
no, it's not dumb, but like
people.
Yeah, people and the way we interact, we just have to come to an understanding at the end of the day. Like. Come to an understanding.
Yeah, I feel. I only asked the question though because, like, I'd be like talking to my wife, right? I'd be like, no homo. I'd be like, bro, I feel like if I was gay,
before they say some homo shit,
right? I feel like if I was gay and I was dating a nigga, I don't feel like I'd be dealing with this shit right now. You know what I mean? But it's like because I'm heterosexual, I'm dealing with your shit.
Nah,
shouts out to my wife though. It's all the same. It's
all the same, man. Like it doesn't matter who you're gonna deal with, whatever the bullshit that they want to deal with too. You know what I mean? So.
Niggas gonna be like, bro, you homo as fuck to be thinking that in the first place, right? But I would be like, hey man, y'all ain't been married yet. Y'all find out. Sometimes you question shit.
That's funny as hell though.
It is, man, cause bruh, marriage, man, in the military, what's the pros and cons to it? I can't think of any pro. I'll say that off.
You can't think of any pro? What
not
about family?
To be married in the military, man? Oh no.
I don't know. A lot of people make it work, and I've seen a lot of successful relationships in the military.
Nigga, look at the statistics. Competitive statistics. Nope.
I would have to research all of that because I haven't done any. I just only worry about myself and my marriage.
But before, when we was coming up, like, we always knew, like, you know what I mean, like, damn.
You got the old heads like, don't get married because they stuck in probably a relationship they don't want to fucking be in. Like, man, let that motherfucker live whatever life that they want to fucking live. At the end of the day, like I said, like you're gonna make your whatever decisions. I think in the military and when we're younger, we probably make decisions to get married faster than maybe we should just because we stay in a duty station for 2 to 3 years, and if you're not married, you're single in a sense in the Marine Corps' ways at least, or eyes. So there's no really way of staying with that person because you could be on the East Coast and I could be in Japan or something like that.
True.
So people get married to stay together. Yeah. Not really knowing maybe who their spouse is yet, or just waiting for the appropriate time. So, yeah. One thing that was sticking in my head is like something that my mother said is like, if it's real, like with time, everything will come together. So you don't have to rush to do whatever. So
shout out to Mama Dukes.
Yeah, I don't think being in the military is like a strain. Yes, we do a lot of things. Yes, we're sometimes a lot of time away from home, not able to experience, especially back when war was actually happening, people were deploying. Like, you're not home to see your baby being born. You're not home for, their first walks and things like that. Kind of do put a strain on your marriage. But I don't think it's the military because any job can do that to you. You know what I mean? So take your experience the way you take it. If your marriage is working out, shout outs to you. If you're in the military and that shit's working, keep sticking through it. Yeah. That's all I can say.
I agree. Yeah. The statistics are different, bro. They always tell those statistics, boy. Cause I'll tell you off rip, I remember at least there's probably only like onesies and twosies of like my higher ups that like was still on their first marriage. Most of them niggas was on their second and third. You know what I mean? And then I really feel like the Marine Corps, more than any other branch, kind of forces people to get married in a sense, just so you could have those basic amenities that we was talking about. That basic standard of living. It's like, bro, I don't want to be 26, 27, and I'm still sharing a room, you know what I mean, with a dirty ass nigga. I'm still getting my room inspected by probably grown ass men that have their house dirty as fuck too. You know what I mean? That happens. Yeah. So, and you don't get like you don't get basic housing and stuff like that unless you're married in the Marine Corps. You could be a E5. Yeah. You know what I mean? You could be an E6. You could have been in for 12 years. It's good. You're gonna have to put in paperwork, and it's still sometimes on like it's on like who you kind of know type of basis. You know what I mean? At least that's how it is with the Marine Corps. So the Marine Corps, I feel like it does forces you to get married a little bit early, because then you're like looking at it like, damn, like, nigga, I want my own house. I want my own spot where I can have my privacy and shit like that. But in order to do that, you gotta get married.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say that's the Marine Corps' fault from pushing that on anybody. Like, people get married because they want to get married. Does it bring those extra amenities to you? Yes, it does. But
so it's an incentive then. That's what I'm saying. It's an incentive to get married. So it does make it easier for you to be like, yeah, I'll just marry this chick.
I don't know what kind of mindset other people have. That's definitely not the mindset I try to go through, in my life. Like, nah, I'm not going to marry no random just because I want, my house and the amenities. Well, I'd rather live with some motherfucker like, hey, turn the fuck around, like, and that's it. Like, I don't got to deal with those extra shit that you was talking about. Like, if I wasn't in this relationship, that's too much bullshit. You know what I mean? To just have your own. I mean, I got my own room right now. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't live with nobody, so
you were blessed, dude.
Yeah, I am blessed right now. But like, you keep staying in this motherfucker long enough, you'll get blessed too. Like, you don't gotta rush to try to make something out of nothing. You know what I mean? Don't rush to do any of that. But yeah, I don't think the Marine Corps pushes marriage on anybody, but it does, like, what it does do is like put you in the vicinity of somebody that you think that you're gonna be with for a long time. So if you don't marry that person, it's like the distance might put a strain on your relationship or something in that nature. But it's not the Marine Corps saying you need to get married, or that motherfucker's gonna leave.
No, of course the Marine Corps ain't saying that, but they I don't know, man. The rules and stuff like that, bro. I always hated like the rules, like hey, you want to bring a chick too, or you want to bring a dude through, whatever you're into, like, you got to sign them in. And then after you sign them in with the duty, you got to make sure your bedroom door open. You know what I mean? And
That's just safety precautions, because everybody's
For what,
because,
man?
Like,
From
bad
what?
things happen to people. That's why. So,
Bad things happen. Oh, okay. That's another
it.
topic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah, but
You know what I'm talking about, though.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sexual assault,
Yep.
rape, all types of stuff, which is it's really the military.
Yep. So it's military's just trying to, put those basic safety precautions in, and that's what they're there for. Not they're not trying to stop your groove or get you from getting bitches or whatever. But like, hey, it's what it is.
I still disagree a little bit on that. I think the military is doing that a little bit. I think the military is doing that a little bit for sure, man. Yeah. So what kind of goals you got? What are your short-term goals coming up and stuff like that? I know you mentioned barbering, right?
Yeah.
Why you don't? I've always asked you this, man. Why not pursue just barbering? Because look, you already do. Vanessa used to be my barber before Mason.
Yeah.
It's just that she lives too far right now for me to actually like go up, and then I don't have access to base.
Yeah.
So it's just way too much work to try.
I travel though. I don't know. He obviously don't remember that, but I travel with my little kit, and I come through the crib. Whenever you need a cut. You just gotta let me know.
I didn't remember.
You gotta let me know, bro.
For real.
I got my briefcase. I walk around with my briefcase. I bring my stuff wherever and barber wherever, bro.
Oh man, that's lit. That's lit. Well, I'm a little bit conflicted now because
not to take you away from your barber right now. Like, it's
Vanessa.
good. I leave in like a month anyway. So you know what I mean. Like
Vanessa was my first, dude, for real. But what inspired you to start cutting hair?
I think. Well, obviously having a little boy, right? You go get haircuts and you kind of figure out like, all right, that's not a good cut. I don't really like that cut. And then I cut my own hair, and then I'm just growing that shit back right now, so don't make fun of me, my little ponytail back here. But like, yeah, I cut my own hair. Yeah, it's got in the groove of me and my son going to get a haircut together and just really walking out of the chair like, bro, that was not a good haircut. You know what I mean? That was not a good haircut. I don't feel good about
that's the PX
my haircut.
Cuts.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. There's being surrounded by Marines that just don't get anybody in the military out here just do not get good haircuts, and I just like, damn, you look bad, bro.
Fucked, nigga.
You look bad, and you just walking, and they don't care either. Like, there's people that don't care about how they look after they come out the barber chair. That could never be me. That could never be me. So I was in the business, of making people look good, feel good after they get a haircut. And that's probably the greatest thing is when a motherfucker gets out the chair and be like, yo, you just did your damn thing. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, damn, appreciate it. And that's just me from watching videos on YouTube and just practicing on people's head. Yeah, shout out to Kyle, because that was my first ever person that was like, I don't care what you do, as long as I get a haircut every weekend, I'm fucking good. So whatever you do, at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna be grateful. And I cut him for free for like a year straight.
Damn. So that's how you got good.
Yeah, a year straight, just trying, learning on his head.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's what did it.
So you always need that one fearful person that don't give a fuck about how they look.
Not necessarily that they don't give a fuck, but like, hey, that motherfucker that stuck with. I mean, he will always get probably a free haircut from me for life. You know what I mean? Because that motherfucker was like my first person that was coming over the house every fucking Sunday getting a haircut from me.
That's
no
dope,
matter
man.
what it looked like at the end, he was like, "Thank you," and just kept coming back, and so nothing but grateful.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Shouts out to that nigga, man.
Yeah.
So your love for the Marine Corps actually it definitely transcends your love for cutting hair, man. Or you just feel like, hey, I'm in the Marine Corps. I could do my Marine Corps shit, and then I could still cut hair and do what I love.
I think, it's definitely a hobby that I take into account, and I fucking love doing it, and I love like the dudes that I do it to are pretty much my boys, right? So like I want them to feel good too about how they look, and I want when we go out, I want them to look good, want their haircut to look good. So I don't want the PX fucking them up or whatever. So the Marine Corps does allow me to do that. I hang out with these guys. There's my clientele right there. You know what I mean? I don't have to go out, kind of promote. I still promote myself, but like not having to promote because I still got people to cut. You know what I mean? So it does give me a little bit of an edge on other barbers and stuff like that out here anyway. True,
man. So any like any aspirations for like, you know what I mean, after you get out, it whether it's 10 years from now, another like 8 years from now, 4 years from now, whatever the case may be, any aspirations like, hey, You know what I mean? Let me go out and try to open up my own spot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the barbering is something that I really do want to do. And if the Marine Corps one day, tells me, hey, you got to pack up your bags and, you had a good run and it's time for you to get out, I'll be okay with that. You know what I mean? I'll be okay. And I'll go ahead on and try to definitely put everything into the barbering thing because that really is a hobby that I really do love to do. Yeah. And I would have no problem trying to open up a shop and cut and bring other people in there that cut. And as long as we make a dope atmosphere and we're bringing clientele in, I don't see a problem with that at all. I can't picture anything bad about opening up a barbershop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She's so Marine Corps, man, with her verbiage and shit. Like,
what do you mean?
If the Marine Corps says, hey, man, it's time for you to pack up your bags and go.
I'm just saying, yeah. They're like, hey, you're not cutting it no more. You got to get the fuck out. Hey, sure. Like, I'm going to get out. Go ahead and do my thing. Like, got no hard feelings. I've been doing this for over 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't. I take everything, especially now in my life, I just take everything, the positive stuff that I could take from it. So I'm not taking any negatives from anything. It's a learning experience. And if this is the path that God put me on, and this is what I'm supposed to go through, like, I'm going to go through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just kind of how I'm living my life right now.
Boom.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, man, I got one last final question for you, Crump. You know what I mean? What are your dreams currently? And what are you doing to actually achieve those dreams? Or what steps are you taking to make that dream a little bit closer?
My dream right now, I mean, the Marine Corps is, like you said, I'm a lifer, right? I'm trying to stay in the Marine Corps. So those dreams are, like, to make those dreams come true is to keep progressing. Right, go to school, freaking run the best, like 3 mile I can run, shoot the best I can shoot, and just keep influencing Marines under me. So that's the dream that I'm doing, and just keep moving on and progressing and influencing as I go along is what I'm doing right now to keep those dreams, afloat. Yeah, man.
I fucks with it, man. Fucks with it. All right, man. Hey, special thanks to Crump. You know what I mean, for coming by and blessing the podcast with all her brilliance and, you know what I mean, just being open up about her life and stuff like that. I really appreciate you. Vanessa has been, like I said, like from the beginning, a long time friend of mine. You know what I mean? It's nothing but positive. It's just always been cool. You know what I mean? Whenever we link up, it's always definitely a good time. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm going to miss you when you leave, but I know you'll be doing big things and stuff. Like, you know where you're going to... you going recruiting, right?
Yeah.
Well, you don't find out where you about to be a recruiter until you pass school.
Pretty much in the school,
Yeah.
Close to graduation, so we'll see. I'm talking to our major out there, but yeah.
Networking, connects.
Yeah.
Hey man, where you trying?
Elbows, you know. Yeah,
where you trying to be?
Try to stay in San Diego. My kids are out there, so if I can stay in that area, influence that area while like still being prevalent in my kids' life at this time. I'd rather try to stay out there. If I can't, New York or Texas, I'm trying to be in one of those 2 places.
Fuck New York, man. Nobody trying to be up there, man. Nobody trying to be up in New York, man. No, I was just playing. But thanks, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.